kind of, if you have an Italian mom, like Sophia Loren is, if you're an Italian male, Sophia Loren is elevated to like a art form, right? So like a whole nother level. So anyway, this looks like Sophia Loren. Okay, so I'll start out here. Just by the way, welcome. Thank you everybody for logging on tonight. We were looking at it. It was like this little scroll counter of people. I'm like, oh my gosh. We are in this little NDA thing got a little out of control. There's a good buddy of mine on the line, Ray Heron, and he'll address us later in the call. But at a certain point, he's like, I'll do my Ray impression. I'm decent at it. Gordon, my boy, you might want to let us have a little extra quick peek of this thing before you let it go live. I was like, okay. We'll let a few people in under NDA. Madai, it's like a little out of control. So I kind of love it, but we will temper expectations. This is a company called OLIABO. You may have figured that out from your NDA, and we're going to talk about it tonight. And it's based on it's based on all kinds of things, but kind of most importantly, if you haven't figured out from the tease here, is that andiamo, by the way, in Italian means we go together. That's what it means, and it's kind of the favorite phrase in my little house. Like anytime we go to leave the house, we look at each other and you say andiamo, andiamo. See, it means we go. I thought it was a good slide to start out with, and all the Italian in this is run by my relatives in Italy. Make sure I don't sound completely broken. Okay, by way of introductions, let me just do a quick. I thought I would introduce this. This is for those of you who are. Most people on this call are at least reasonably hip to the space of health and nutrition. And my brother Joe, who's on the call, I'll introduce him here in a second. We were raised by herbal gerbil parents, and they're amazing. They've both passed now in recent years, and I love them to death. But part of this is kind of this adventure is a little bit dedicated to them and some of the stuff they taught us. But I like to say elegant nutrition. Sometimes this industry, I love this industry, you guys. I freaking love my herbal gerbil weird, like muscle testing or iridology world that, herbologists. My parents were everything ologists. They were like iridologists and herbologists and whatever, blah, 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 freaking blah. Okay, like it was there. It existed. And so I'll just say this. There will be a little assignment. Dang it, sorry. There'll be a little assignment a little later, just a quick to-do list for the group. But let me just jump into this for a second by way of introductions, because some of you have been patiently looking at a couple of faces on the line, and I'll do a quick introduction. And I'm going to leave Ashley last because I put I did random acts of recognition.
It's titled today.
Pardon me?
I get a title today.
You get a title? Not only do you get a job title, Ashley, all of us do, but you're getting I've been waiting to do the shout out about you. We got like little secret weapon here that we haven't been talking about properly. So I'm Gordon. Full disclosure, io mi chiamo Gordon Angelo Roberto Mortini Stefanini. So like, I don't know, like a lot of people on the line may or may not know that my brother and I are Italian. My mom is an Italian immigrant, and I don't know if you guys know this, but like Joe came along 3 years later. My mom had learned English thoroughly by this point. She was trying to not speak Italian because it was the thing you do as an immigrant, right? And but my nursery rhymes were all in Italian. So Joe maybe Joe could do some of them, but Manina Bella, dove sei andata, and Batti Batti le manine, and ecco il treno longo longo, eccetera, eccetera, right? So that's me. I'm the chairman, CEO, because I like to exercise unrighteous dominion over all these people. It's a joke. I know, really. I'm kind of a pushover. My brother Joe on the other side there, he's our COO. It's Joe Morton, and some of you know him from a former life. Joe and I started a company in 2002 called Zango, and it grew. And anyway, we don't own it anymore, and it was a wonderful experience. And some of the wonderful folks on the line here, I know from that former adventure. Partner here in the room here to my left, it's Curtis Homer. Curtis is our president and CIO, Chief Information Officer. And again, you heard at the beginning, all the stuff that's coming together here, all the A and the V, because there's A and V, and then there's like stuff some nights there's videos and like streaming video. But Curtis, he's got this ridiculous CV. He's a serial entrepreneur. He's in a 12-step program. A recovering entrepreneur? Not really. You're gonna be.
No, man. I'm an entrepreneur for life. I got into the internet world of affiliate marketing in the late '90s, actually. So over 25 years ago, when I was in college, I stumbled into the world of internet marketing and the affiliate world, what it was back then, very nascent, and started building companies. Ended up in New York and LA and various other places, building various affiliate marketing companies, e-commerce companies, software companies. Yeah, just kind of came up doing that for the last 25 years and have had some good successes along the way. And so we figured, our powers combined, let's bring those two worlds together in a way that's never been done before. And we'll tell you a little bit more about that later. But
yeah, and we're in good, we're good hands. Like these, okay. One of the things that I think these computers that we're working on, I think they're going to be here for a while. I think the robots I think they're here to stay, and kind of have one. You need to have somebody on your team that can tame the robots. Curtis has got them under control, kind of. I say that, you're going to jinx the whole universe, but. And then last but not least on this slide is our wonderful Ashley Brown. She is, I describe her as, she is like the Gucci loafer in amongst like a bunch of Crocs. Okay. So Ashley is our vice president of skincare and web development. You like that? I gave you that title in the last couple of days. Yeah.
Love it.
I have to announce though, Ashley, I've been holding this one. It's kind of cute that she's been so nice not saying it. She doesn't want to be a meme monster. Ashley is a certified organic skincare formulator. And you'll see why that's important in a second here. Curtis tames the zeros and ones. Joe everybody knows. Joe has got the most herbal gerbil cred of anybody in my family. The guy's a triathlete. He's like a world-class athlete and he's always breaking something and hurting something because he's always training. I exercise. I feel good about that. Joe trains. I don't train. Joe is always the best person to pick to sports teams. I was never. So anyway, we'll talk to Joe here in a second. He's probably wanting to get at my throat here. But Ashley and Joe will be talking in a second. I'm going to the last slide here. There are two people that they'll remain nameless at the moment, but they'll be coming out on the slide deck here at the end of the month and finishing contracts with other things they're working on. But I have a general counsel, Jeff Warwick. He is not on the line tonight, so I'm probably a little more free to speak. Poor Jeff, his ears are burning, doesn't even know why. And then Brent Baum is our CFO. You don't want me in charge of counting large numbers of things, and he's ridiculously. I'll give you a soundbite. I think somebody on the line was asking about this. I'll give you this soundbite. Brent Baum is a ridiculously talented guy, and I'm a good salesman because Brent Baum was recruited. He was like this Wharton whiz kid, and he was working in a New York investment banking firm, and he got recruited by a guy named Jeffrey Katzenberg to start a little company called DreamWorks. Brent is an original member of something they called the Founding Five. He was the fifth employee of DreamWorks, and I said to him, wait a second, you mean Katzenberg, Spielberg, and Geffen, and then two more, and you were the second? And he goes, no, those were the owners. I was one of the Founding Five employees. So he clarifies that, right? But that's Brent. You'll meet him. He's got ridiculous stories. The origins of this, ladies and gentlemen, let's lead this off tonight. The origins of what you're going to hear about this evening. There's going to be a little journey. We're going to take a little journey. You guys pour yourself a beverage and sit back. We'll do a little talking here. And the adventure that we're going to go on here is its origins are in a town called Treviso, Italy. That is my mother on the left. Some folks on the line here have met my mother in years past. She was a fixture at many events, and sometimes when we had Italian groups, it was so beautiful. I got to watch my mom give a couple of speeches in Italian. It was very surreal. That was her before she immigrated to Canada. She was about 21, 22, so she had a thick accent. If you immigrate before you're 20, you're pretty much stuck with an accent the rest of your life. She had one. We would do imitations. She hated it. In the center of this picture, that is Treviso, Italy, and across the ponte there, the bridge, is a pharmacy. You can't see it unless you zoom in, but that is where my mom worked just prior to immigrating. And pharmacies in Italy are very, very, very herbally gerbily, okay? I will talk about my cousin. She came here, she's been here many times, and there was one time I caught her standing at the gas station in front of this wall what we have is drugs in a gas station. And it was, the gas station has little pockets of Tylenol and Advil and Benadryl, et cetera, et cetera. And I said, "Cosa fai?" She's like, "You have a lot of drugs." And I'm like, "What?" She's like, "You have more drugs in your gas station than we have in the pharmacy in Italy." I'm like, "Get out of here." And she's like, "You're drug addicts." And I was like, "Oh, we are. We're kind of a little bit drug addicts." It was like a whole wall of drugs. And she's like, "You don't even need a driver's license to buy these." So I thought it was funny. Okay, I will just give a little props here. This is my family. This is years ago. We would spend summers in Italy, and this was taken probably about, I don't know, maybe, okay, look at my age, my kids, maybe 15 years ago. No, about 12 years ago, judging the age of my kids here. And we would rent a farmhouse every summer. I had business in Italy, so I would work out of our European office. And I got to know Tuscany really well. And I rented a farm that happened to be on a fully functioning olive farm. And I'll get to that in a second. Folks, if you're listening to my voice tonight, you probably know this. Sometimes the hardest thing to see is right in front of you. We have this view outside this window, and I forget what it's like sometimes. We shot a video the other day, and they're like, "Let's open all the blinds and shoot this." We become numb to it. I'm looking at the Wasatch Front here. It's the Rocky Mountains. The Wasatch Front is the Wasatch Mountain Range. If you've ever been to Park City, that's the Wasatch back. That's the backside of this mountain range. It's beautiful. Last night, Curtis and I were the only ones left the office at 8:30 because we're the only ones that care. And merciful. Sorry, Ashley, Joe, the rest of you. But I was like, "Oh, look at the alpenglow." Alpenglow is what happens when you have like that late pink sunset around 8 o'clock last night, and it was all beautiful. And Curtis and I braided each other's hair and had a pillow fight. But you forget, it's right in front of us every day. It's beautiful, right? So this is something along those lines. Let me show you on the right here for those of you who've never seen this, an image like this. There's nothing photoshopped or no color filter on this. The photo on the right, that brightly colored green product is olive oil. It looks just like that the first couple of minutes when you're running the first press of olive oil in the fall, when you're usually end of October in Tuscany. And it looks like that. And I had a landlady that we'd been renting the same house every summer for, I don't know, several years. And she comes out one night and she's holding a bottle. It's an empty plastic water bottle like this that was filled with something that color. And she goes, "Eccolo qua." And I was like, "I don't know what this is." And she's like, "This is the olive oil. This is the first little bit of the olive oil press before it's filtered." And she said, "We eat this fresh every day for about 2 weeks after the harvest, but you have to filter all that out or freeze it because you can't sustain it." She said, "Olive oil is ridiculously good for you. And this is the life force of the olive, this ultra green, bright substance." So I'm not going to run sound on this, but this is her son, Lorenzo Busso, who probably has no idea that I showed his mug now to hundreds of people. But he didn't even speak English when I was first started renting the house. He's now, just like me, a Canadian citizen. And that at the bottom, I should freeze it because I pour my own olive oil when I leave every summer. I pour my own canisters of olive oil, and I try to save it throughout the year. Unfortunately, I'm almost entirely out of what I bought this year because of what we're doing right here. But I wanted to point that out, that we have to fertilize your brain a little bit because we're going to take you on a little adventure and you're going to learn some new words. All right, so you're like, "What the heck?" I've called in on this thing on what is it, Tuesday? What are we at? Tuesday. Friday? Okay. Tuesday night, and this guy's going to talk to me about olives and olive oil, blah, 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 freaking blah. Well, I gotta tell you, in history, if there are famous botanicals, this is definitely the most famous. If you're in Italy, there are three fruits that occupy like a holy space in Italian culture. It is the grape, of course, the fig, and the olive. And the olive is the top of the hierarchy, and it's mentioned, I don't know, a bazillion times in the Bible. And I think it's got these beautiful metaphors about its nutritional value and its I don't know, it's almost a revered space in culture. So we've been tripping over this for years, and everybody on this line is like, "Oh yeah, all right, whatever. I understand olive oil is probably good for me and olives are good for me, but so what?" Well, we'll tell you why, so what. There is, by the way, you're about to find out in the next few slides that there is nothing like a good extra virgin olive oil. And unfortunately, in America and Canada included, and most of the world, there is nothing like an extra virgin olive oil being sold to us. Even the stuff that's being sold to us as extra virgin olive oil is not. It's a lie because we don't care, and they send us whatever. And that's not just Italy. Everybody does it. Most countries send us what they say is extra virgin olive oil, and it's not. And there's a colored extra virgin olive oil. It's bright green. Or it's got a beautiful green hue to it, generally speaking. I'm not like there's sometimes certain varieties that don't, but most times it does. There's a peppery taste to it. There is a smell. It has a grassy kind of note to it. And there's olive oil snobs out there. We're making them right now. We're creating olive oil snobs. You met the wine snobs. Joe and I waited a lot of tables. They're like, oh, this is like oaky with a hint of blah, blah, blah. And you're like, okay, yeah, I got to take your order, buddy. Look at this. Act in Italy, imported olive oil. Then it says on the back, ingredients: refined olive oil, which means it's not the first press. It's usually the second or third press. And then they say extra virgin olive oil is the second ingredient. That's a distant second, I can guarantee you. At the bottom, produced in Italy and Tunisia. By the way, Tunisia is not in Italy. So that's the problem. Here's our solution. It's a company called OLIABO. This word means, it's two words: olia, oil, botanica, both Italian words, and the feminine version of oil. And we say vita bella, the beautiful life. Italian purity meets American purpose. And I'll tell you, some of the greatest things on the planet, ideas that came from Italians, but they came to America to do it. I'm just going to give a shout out to the peeps. My uncle used to say to me every time I buy something, he's like, is it Italian? I'm like, no. Perché? I'm like, perché? No, I don't know. It's not Italian. And he's like, you don't know what my people went through. I was like, stop it. This is our imaging right here. This slide right here is every image you're going to see, and all the ones preceding this, they're all the product of this little group that you're talking to right here. And we loved a particular design style that happened in America mid-century, right after World War II. There was this poppy optimism. It was like an explosion of Technicolor. And we decided that we're going to create illustrations in that style, and we're going to build the world that we want to live in. And when I say we, I mean me and Curtis and Ashley and Joe and Ray and all the folks. We're building this thing. Well, I want to live in this world. It's optimistic. It's bubbly. There's like a time in America where all the illustrations were like this, and there's Coca-Cola ads and cigarette ads, and people are like dancing and hanging out in trees, and they all look happy. And I was like, I want to be that. That's what I want. So we put technology in it, and we're launching the brand OLIABO, and we're setting the olive standard of health and nutrition, because it doesn't exist. It just doesn't exist. The olive health and nutrition supplement category does not exist yet. And so there is an awareness gap. I'm stealing Curtis's phrase. This is Curtis's slide. I put mind the gap if you've ever been to Europe.
Yeah.
So
what are we talking about here, right? Olives, olive oil, been around for thousands of years. What's the big deal, right? And I'll tell you what the big deal is, and that's why we're kind of taking on this journey. The awareness gap is basically whenever you've got a product or something that could be a product, and the general population is either not aware of it or they're low level aware of it, like olive oil, for example. We're all generally aware, 99.9% of the population is aware that olive oil is good for you, olives are good for you. Stop. That's kind of where their awareness ends. But the gap exists in what is actually possible and what is known now of the actual value and benefits and incredible componentry that olives, olive oil, and different kinds of products that can be created from extracts and other aspects of the olive tree. That medical science, knowledge, technology for manufacturing is way up here off the charts. And that gap is where there's massive opportunity, especially with a product like olives and olive oil that everyone's aware of and everyone consumes, but they're totally unaware of the actual opportunity that new product componentry and the health benefits that actually have been proven now and exist. So there's a massive gap, and there's a massive opportunity both to provide a lot of benefit and help to people and a lot of financial opportunity for filling that gap. So go with us on this journey, and you'll better understand as we keep going what the actual opportunity is and where that gap exists for you and for everyone around you.
And Curtis knows this slide as the others do. Some of you have been on it. What Curtis is hinting at is the fact that there's an awareness gap. First of all, if you're European, olive oil, you spend a disproportionate amount of money. Like the budget you spend on olive oil, if you're an Italian or any European, is big. And here's the stat. Average Italian consumes 14 liters of high quality extra virgin olive oil per year. The Greeks, 20. Greeks always try to outdo us. Okay. The average American consumes less than 1 liter of crappy olive oil per year. It's not even extra virgin, it's just olive oil. And that is the awareness. Well, first of all, that's olive oil itself. Yeah, that's not what we're getting into.
That's just good quality olive oil. I mean, we've been hearing for years about the Mediterranean diet, and it continues to be shown more and more and more about the health benefits of the Mediterranean diet. And a huge part of that is a good quality olive oil.
Keep going. You're on a roll.
Yeah. So here's some stats. These aren't our stats. These are just stats that are out there with really robust research and studies. If you look down in the footnotes, you can kind of see where these studies come from. But 50 milliliters a day of EVO meaning extra virgin olive oil, just a good quality extra virgin olive oil. 50 milliliters a day, that's roughly about 3 tablespoons, resulted in a 30% lower risk of cardiovascular disease. That's a huge drop, especially because these participants had a high cardiovascular risk, and 3 tablespoons a day, 30% lower.
Okay, who wants death? Joe gets death tonight. I'm just like, Joe, you get the death slide, okay? Death slide.
I got death. I like it. I want to point out what Curtis was talking about there also with the cardiovascular disease. It is the #1 killer, not just in America, not just in Canada, but worldwide. It is consistently the #1 killer. And so a 30% less likelihood, and that number that Gordon has there, like Curtis said, probably about three tablespoons. That's very doable in these cultures, and it doesn't surprise that the next one that Gordon's got here is mortality, 8 to 9% lower all-cause mortality, and this is significant because in the Mediterranean region, the two that Gord's got listed there, Italy and Greece, both happen to have what are called blue zones, and blue zones have people who consistently live over 100 years old, and they're trying to figure out, what are these guys doing? What are the differences? Well, we're telling you right now one of them. When Curtis talks about that awareness gap, we're telling one of those points. And both Greece and Italy both have blue zones, and Italy's got another emerging blue zone that they're starting to study, going, what are these guys doing? Guess what? They're all eating olive oil. That's one of the big ones that is in. And we can address some of the other issues too, but all-cause mortality, 8 to 9% with 11 milliliters per day, which is about, Curtis, what? That's not even 1 tablespoon. About 1 tablespoon, yeah. maybe 1 tablespoon, not even that. So that's significant, guys. It's significant. Like if it was a drug that did that, you freaking kidding me? Like people would be like buying it off the shelf, just that alone. And yet it's right there before our eyes. Like Gord said at the beginning, it's right before our eyes. It's this greatest health story that's ever been told that's never been told. That's kind of what we're talking about here. Like, it's amazing. So, sorry,
it's the OG essential oil.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And by the way, a lot of, I was introduced to the habit over there in Italy that they'll take a tablespoon on an empty stomach in Tuscany in the first thing in the morning before it has to be 30 minutes before coffee. They got rules about stuff. Hey, Ashley, I've never thrown brain health. Do you want to take brain health tonight?
Love brain health, actually. I'm so glad you chose me. So 20 to 30 milliliters a day of extra virgin olive oil, again, just extra virgin olive oil, improves cognitive function. So what happens is when you are throughout your day, there's these sticky proteins that stick to your brain, and they cause different effects like Alzheimer's and adult onset dementia. And to be able to clear those out when you sleep, usually when you sleep, they get cleared out. But for other people, they don't get cleared out as efficiently. Olive oil has been proven in different studies to help lower beta amyloid accumulation in your brain. So this is huge. This is such a good effect that olive oil does have on brain health.
Excellent. I threw that one. We have a little kind of our inside jokes here, like we throw like randos at. So Ashley had to say beta amyloid tonight. So
I almost
nicely done.
wasn't going to say it.
You want to take anti-inflammatory while you're at it?
Yes, I love this one actually. So back in 1999, there's this sensory chemist named Gary Beacom. He was at an event where he was doing an olive oil tasting, and he came across one, he drank it, and he got this weird tingling in the back of his throat. And he thought, did someone put an ibuprofen in my olive oil? Because it had the same effect on the back of his throat, this tingling, stinging feeling that an uncoated ibuprofen does, or if you chew one up. And then he later came to discover this property, and it has the same anti-inflammatory effects as an ibuprofen.
Without the downsides.
Yes.
Yeah, so you see a new word here. So we were talking about EVO, extra virgin olive oil. All those previous stats were just from a good quality extra virgin olive oil, which we're not always getting, right? But we say HP EVO, high phenolic extra virgin olive oil. So now we're as part of this education journey we're taking on, now we're talking about a different type of extra virgin olive oil, a specific kind that is extremely high in polyphenol count. So it's different type of olives, the way that they're harvested, when they're harvested, how the olive oil is produced and extracted, that can create a very high polyphenol count extra virgin olive oil that has even more incredible benefits than just a regular extra virgin olive oil. So it's another layer and another level. And one of those components, one of those polyphenols, is the one that Ashley mentioned, oleocanthal.
Okay, so I thought you were going to take this. I'll take this one. All right, I'm oleocanthal boy tonight. This is a new word for many of you. It's actually a new word for most people. If you noticed in the former slide there at the bottom, it says 2005. It was about that time. Zango was 3 years old, and science started to figure out. Okay, I was always raised with the mantra that science tells, but stories sell. We're not sold like enthusiasm. My dad used to say the last 4 letters stand for I am sold myself. Like we don't, until we have a personal experience, we're just like, it's a bunch of scientists studying moss or whatever they're doing. In this case, that green bright fluorescent stuff that I showed you from the first part of a press, that is the nutritional life force of olive. And they couldn't keep it preserved because you have to put preservatives in it or freeze it. Neither one are actually good for selling in the commercial markets. But what if you could? Well, we found out that people can, just not me, not Joe, not any of us on the line. We found brighter minds that can do it. They're in Europe. But oleocanthal is known exclusively, it's an antioxidant known exclusively to the olive. That means it doesn't exist anywhere else. Maybe in trace amounts somewhere, we don't know. But in the corner there, it says the burning, stinging sensation in the back of the throat caused by oleocanthal was found to mimic the pharmacological benefits of or actions of ibuprofen. So here's the big takeaway. That feeling right there, okay, Italians will say it stimulates a good olive oil. You'll have 3 coughs. You'll go, you get that kind of tickle in the back of your throat. So who wants to take this one? We have come up with our own mix called olivectin. Go for it.
Yes. Yeah. So not only is oleocanthal exclusive to olives, but there's other polyphenols that are exclusive to olives as well, like oleuropein, tyrosol, all these different compounds, these polyphenol compounds. So anyway, that word in the middle there, olivectin, that's our made-up word. So if you look that up, you're not going to find anything on it. Not yet. Eventually. So olivectin is our proprietary blend of some specialized extracts that we're partnered with some groups that have specialized processes that have been developed over the last few years to extract out a unique extraction from the olive leaf and from the olive pulp. People for a long time have been mashing up olive leaves and using that in teas or other things like that. But there's only so much bioavailability that you can get of the nutrients of the olive leaf when you do that. And similar with the pulps. So these different groups, these different scientists have come up with ways to extract these things out. We're then putting a proprietary blend of those components together into what we call olivectin. And olivectin is one of the pieces that's going to be going into our products. So it's really important to understand all these different pieces that are going into things. We'll get into the products soon.
And this is the thing that we're coming back to. This is all coming full circle to this little journey we've been on for the last 30 minutes. Okay, I've been told I'm a decent salesman. I don't know. I'm not as good as Ray, but I'm a pretty good salesman. But I can't think in my best day that I'm going to take an average American from consuming 1 liter of crappy olive oil per year to 14 liters of high quality olive oil, let alone it's far excessive to this if you want to get this, I don't know, full court press of olive. So ladies and gentlemen, when I say the olive standard, there is a lot of rules to do the way that, I don't know if you know this, extra virgin olive oil means that the olives have been picked green. They are washed and pressed within 12 hours. Okay, that's a fairly anal retentive group of parameters. It can never rise above a certain temperature because heat will denature it. It has to be picked green. In other words, if you let it go to that black olive color on the leaf, what happens is that you could have a higher yield, you just don't have the nutritional value. So we took all of that, we bundled it into a little soft gel cap. It's infused with, it's a full court press of olive benefit in a high quality HP Evo, high phenolic extra virgin olive oil infused with olivectin. You see where we're going with this? So you can take this little capsule, by the way, is colored green with the outside is chlorophyll. It degrades if you get it in full light. And extra virgin olive oil needs to be in a protective case, like a can or a colored bottle. Of course, I picked the clear bottle because it's right after the harvest. So introducing Prima, and they look like little olives. See, it looks like olives.
So let me be clear here to make sure that you understand what we're looking at here and what we're talking about. So you could go online right now and you could look up olive oil gel cap, right? And you'll find some things out there. If you buy those, we have some here because we're always testing different things to see what people are doing. If you bought that and you cut into it, it would be just a very low grade
Yellow
extra virgin olive oil, maybe, with very little actual health benefits in it. So what we're talking about here is we're doing something that's never been done before. So we're taking a high phenolic extra virgin olive oil that we're directly sourcing. That's a very specific high phenolic. High phenolic extra virgin olive oil has a polyphenol count that is anywhere from 50 to 100x that of just a regular low grade extra virgin olive oil, right? Way different polyphenol count, way different componentry. So we're taking that, we're then injecting that with our proprietary blend of olivectin, which is those special componentries, into this gel cap, right? So the polyphenol counts, the componentry, the combination, and how that then is so easily consumable is how we take your average person anywhere from very low amounts of olive oil and very low amounts of any good quality olive oil with any of the good componentry, and allowing them to get it into their lives every day very easily in ways that they could have never done before. And we're sourcing all that from very specific places, and that is what Prima is. It's wholly unique, never been done before, nothing on the market like it.
And thank you, Curtis. And I was going to say, because I had some presented to somebody who spoke Italian 2 days ago, and they're like, hey, buddy, you saying in these? I'm like, I just put like text in there, holder text, right? It's good. It's like, I don't know, but it's not. This is the mock-up label, you guys, because we're in pre-market. The label looks similar to this, but you notice that canister is not glass. It is a tin. It's a tin. Get it? All right, we're blocking out the moisture. But wait, most of you on the line, if you know a little bit about olive oil, know I heard that it's got transdermal benefits. It's got topical benefits. So we have an internal product that we'll be launching with Prima that I really wish that I had a certified organic skincare formulator that I could have. Oh, wait a second. Ashley, ecolo quoi. Go ahead, Demi.
Yes. So olive oil is so great for your skin. There's a lot of components in it that actually mimic your own skin oils and help repair damage that has been done and caused by the sun, by aging. And there's a lot of preventative benefits to it as well. But yeah, it's an incredible ingredient. So, okay, good. Okay, here we go.
This is your slide deck for you. Sorry, you're not here. So
this is Viso Lux. So this is one of our skin serums. So what this does is it restores the glow back to your skin. It reduces fine lines and wrinkles, and it is a protectant. It actually is it actually firms your skin and reverses photo aging, which is huge. This, I mean, olive oil is just a crazy ingredient that is not used enough in everyday life. Um, but yeah,
Ashley, can I
yeah,
lead the witness?
yeah.
Is there anything else in this that you infused your little anti-aging serum with, by any chance?
So the reason that this looks so beautiful and goes on with this beautiful velvety sheen is because we've added this ingredient called mangosteen seed oil. It is so beautiful on your skin. It doesn't leave it greasy, and I actually put some on before this call because I was like, I have a little cold and I feel like I look just not alive. So I was like, okay, how do we do this? How do I get a little shiny? Put it on my face, and here we go. But yeah, that's a star ingredient.
Advancing your slide deck.
It's also infused with our proprietary blend of olivectin as well. So we're putting all these unique componentry together into this beautiful thing. And by we, I mean Ashley came up with this formula, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, we are. This is I actually championed this out of the gates, and I'm really glad because bearded aging marketing mutants like myself are made for poor spokespeople for skincare lines.
Well, and it's so interesting. You were telling me that your mom, Gordon and Joe, your mom used olive oil for her skin all the time.
That's it. Like I was stopped. That was like joking the test. My mom would use that was her entire skincare routine. I tell people we're from Toronto. We were in Toronto until I was in second grade. My parents promptly said, "We're getting off the grid." We moved us out to like Nowheresville, Canada, on some dirt road. Still a dirt road. That's still a dirt road to the house that Joe and I grew up in. And my mom, her skincare routine was like olive oil. Joe knows me. She like at least once a month. She was downtown Toronto to the import like place, Dorigo or Silvestri for those folks. Sometimes Nino de Versa, where she would go and get like this big thing of olive oil, extra virgin olive oil from Italy. And that was her skincare routine. By the way, olive oil on its own it's the OG hypoallergenic skincare product. And it is also a natural, it has photo degradation, it blocks photo damage, as Ashley said. So let me just tell you, most extra virgin olive oils are about a 7 to 10 on the SPF scale. You have to test it. You can't make that claim. So Viso means face. Visolux is the serum that Ashley has developed for fine lines and wrinkles. There'll be 2 more products coming out around the time of Christmas. Viso Cleanser, Viso Moisturizer, all with the beneficial surfactants of olives or the beneficial emollients in the case of moisturizer. Again, Viso means face. There will be 3 products to make up a kit, hopefully in time for Christmas. Viso is our skincare kit. And if you paid attention to the beginning of the slide, it happens to be my mom's hometown of Treviso, Italy, which means 3 faces. And there used to be a statue that guarded the town. It was a man. I think he's naked. Everything's naked in Italy. And he had 3 faces guarding the town. And but I think he got bombed. Apparently he needed 4 faces because he had to look up from the bombing. But anyway, I'm not trying to marginalize that. That happened though. It's real. Treviso still has the statue in town of the dude with 3 faces. So Joe, but wait, there's one last product. This is the one that we will be launching. This one in Prima in a couple of weeks here. And Joe, I describe as the king of pain.
Several weeks.
Joe gets gas every time I say it. So Joe, you want to take this one?
Sure, you bet. Yeah, a little bit more than a few weeks, but so I absolutely love this product. As Gordon mentioned, and as you've heard from the presentation, there's natural COX-1, COX-2 inhibitor properties to the olive oil and the different constituents that are found in the olive, both the leaf and the fruit itself, and the olive oil that comes from it. And so Ashley's developed this product that will contain, of course, leading with high phenolic, not just extra virgin olive oil, but high phenolic extra virgin olive oil, that contains naturally what we're talking about here. But we're also going to infuse it with the olivectin that Curtis was talking about earlier, the extracts that come from the leaf and the fruit. Also, mangosteen pericarp oil, and the squalene that comes from the olive. Now, make note, I believe that was mentioned by Ashley earlier, but if not, there's two different. You can get squalene from different areas. One's like shark liver, I want to say, Ashley. And then, of course, there's olive. And which one are we choosing, right? Of course, olive. Everything focuses around the olive. And absolutely love this product. I'm using it, and we've had different versions, which has been great. Ashley's been working with the manufacturer and developing this and coming up with different versions. But I'm using it every day. I use it on my ankle. I got a few aches and pains over the years, and I continue to have some aches and pains. To give you an idea, I'm taking not just the internal. We've got some early samples of the Prima that I'm taking with high phenolic extra virgin olive oil and these extracts. And as well, I'm using the different versions of Flex that as we developing along the way. And I'm putting it on my ankle, which for some of you may have remembered, like 17 years ago, I had a pretty crazy accident where I blew out my ankle completely out of the socket. And I was warned that I would have challenges over time. And well, it's over time, so it's happened, and I am experiencing a little bit of those challenges that I was told of. But hey, it's okay, it's cool because I got Flex right now, and I got Prima, and I'm using both of them. And I decided, and I also blew out my knee about 8 weeks ago now. My meniscus, yeah, I tore my meniscus, and the doctor didn't think I needed a surgery, which is great, but I still have a lot of inflammation that's going on around my knee, and that's just naturally, and you'll say it'll go on for several months as it kind of comes down over time. So I'm putting this on every day. I'm taking the internal versions of the Prima, I'm putting the Flex on my ankle, and I'm telling you guys, I ran again today. I was told I shouldn't really be running for a little while, and I ran a trail run with my dog Blue. And now I'm not running consistently, and I'm not running super fast, but I'd run a little bit, walk a little bit, run a little bit, walk a little bit. And I did a leg workout this morning too. And I'm telling you, I just feel so good. I love this. Ashley, you've done a great job. Seriously, this is an amazing product, and I can't wait for all you try it. Some of you have had a chance to try a little bit as you come by the office and so forth. We've had some good feedback from people so far. And I'll tell you, this product is going to change lives. I've got you, Gordon.
Thanks, Joe. Ashley, I'm gonna pick on you for a second here, since you are a certified organic skincare formulator and forgot to mention squalene. Anyway,
I did not.
You want to do me a favor? Okay, Ash, I'm gonna say this about Ashley. Ashley and I have worked together for 18 years. It doesn't look like this, and she was an adult when I started working with her. She looks very young. She regularly gets the question about, like, how do you look so young? And part of it, she's kind of put her little worldview into some products. But on the pain front, Ashley, do you want to talk about your Larry Bird back that you have? Or, okay. Sorry.
Yeah. So I actually have a herniated disc in my back. It is pinching both sciatic nerves on both my legs, one more than the other. And when we found out the word oleocanthal, I'm like, okay, well, how much do I need to drink to fix this? And it was a lot before Prima was invented. And so I'm just trying to think of how to do this, how to localize this. So again, with the squalane, we found so many amazing ingredients that help, again, mimic your own skin oils to help it absorb deeply. And with the pericarp oil, this is like just incredible. What I did was I tested it on my most hurt leg. I just put it down my leg. I put it on my back. And in about 10 minutes, my other leg started hurting so bad. And I didn't realize that I was in so much pain. And this took away substantially the pain in my right leg that I was able to feel the left. And there's been so many stories that we've been able to hear. And Oh, we can't wait to hear everyone's story when they get to try this.
Yeah, she's hitting on something. By the way, Ashley, do you mind me telling you? Ashley was in so much pain, she was taking 6 ibuprofen at a
Yes.
time, and you can probably see it's not in. Maybe you can't see, but Ashley weighs less than. I weigh more than 2 Ashleys. Let's put it that way, okay? So 6 ibuprofen pretty much sends me into the. So Ashley, I can't even imagine how she was doing that. And the damage you're probably doing to your whatever liver, kidneys.
I felt like my back was hurting more, but it was really my kidneys. And I'm like, I couldn't stop taking it because I was in so much pain, and it was the only anti-inflammatory that would work until now. So what I'm actually doing is only taking one a day. Sorry, Gordon.
No, there's a little delay. It's okay, Ashley. Sorry.
I was taking one in the morning and one at night, and I'm down to one a day because I've been taking the Prima, and I've been taking and using Flex all day.
She takes 1 ibuprofen. Like, who takes one? My mom would take 1 ibuprofen. You know, like that's an amazing testimonial in and of itself, right there. By the way, the good people of ibuprofen should give us a freaking royalty check. The amount of times we mention it. Anyway,
and Gord, I want to point out something too. You had on the slide, and you don't need to go back to it at all, but there was a little statement that you had at the bottom, and if anyone was looking closely, you'll see that it says oleocanthal, ibuprofen, or whatever it says down there. That's not our statement. I want to point that out. Okay, that's not our statement. That's a statement that if you just Google, and we've had a few people in the office that have done just that right on the spot. Oleocanthals, this is a serious, and all the different constituents, again, that are coming from these extracts that we're using, they all have the same, they all have the same story.
Tomorrow you'll get a follow-up email that has a lot of a list of various terminology that we've shared during the presentation, so that you can go and use your favorite search engine, AI assistant, medical journal, and you can go have fun exploring some of these different terms and find a wealth of knowledge and information and start filling your own awareness gap on the incredible value of what we're talking about here.
It's true. By the way, we're creating olive oil nerds already. Ray sent me a picture that day. He's like, look at this. What do you think of this? I'm like, dude, I don't know. Like, you're probably got some store in Traverse City, Michigan. I don't know what you're. Ray, you'll get to microphone in a second. You can diss on me. So I was just going to say that, we're finishing off this part of the product thing, but I was going to say, you'll see we are creating the olive standard of health. That comes with responsibility. It comes with education. What we're doing tonight, new words, oleocanthal is new in the world of nutritional science. Is a relatively young science. So folks, we're kind of spearheading, we're trailblazing here. Our promise of purity, quality, and trust is, you'll see the depictions you've seen so far have a seal. If you go to Italy, a good quality regional specific wine or a cheese or balsamic vinaigrette or any of these products, nutritional supplement, have a seal of approval on it. And that is our multi-step inspection process. And you'll see that. I think it also looks a little cool. So we aren't going to load everybody up with outrageous amounts of product. If you want this product, when we launch, we'll be selling 1 month supplies in a subscription model, because that's the way things are done nowadays. And we all like convenience. And we are all completely addicted to delivery. It used to be when we started Zango, people were like, can I buy this at GNC? I'm like, no. Oh, darn it. And I was like, now nobody, who wants to go? I don't want to freaking go to the GNC. I like my house. I'm become like Cooney or something. I don't know what it is. Curtis mentioned that he has this unbelievable experience in the world of affiliate marketing, which is really, like, they say the word influencer in affiliate marketing a lot. And I think that's kind of an interesting word, but I'm talking to a group of people on this line that are the original affiliate, like influencers. I was influenced by a lot of people on the line here tonight in the way that I think and behave. And so one of the things that the influencer affiliate world could benefit from is a couple things. Trainings. They don't do training in the affiliate world, the normal affiliate world. And reward trips. Okay, guys, if we get good at what we're doing here, you're educating the world about olive oil grown in the multi-generations of people growing these olives in the greatest soil known to man, without any kind of, without the pesticides and herbicides that you see in today's American culture. I think it's important that these people, all of y'all, learn right from
hands-on experience.
There you go. Go to Italy. That's essentially what I'm getting at. I like to build slide decks that look like people. There's somebody there that looks like Ray. But
Yeah. So think about what we've shown you here, right? We're not just grabbing some product off the shelf or from some random manufacturer and just throwing it out there and spinning up some company really quick because it's easy to do now with the technology and the manufacturing. There's a story here, a very personal story to Gordon and Joe, but also 2 years ago, I started spending time in Italy and the Mediterranean, and I've been sourcing my own olive oil for 2 years. And so it's very personal to all of us. I actually spent tons of time delving into this world. So the story is a very personal story to us. The brand and the visuals, it's all very thoughtful and crafted. The products are truly unique products that do not exist on the market today. The team that you see here before you has a ton of experience in building successful companies and a lot of success in the direct selling space. So you can see that this whole package is coming together. We have the system, we have the model, we have an incredible ability to make money. I don't know if you're going to tease any of that tonight. That might be another night that we share the comp plan. But this is unique. The products are unique. The opportunity we're showing you is unique. It's not something you see every day. And I hope that you're catching that vision, that you're seeing that.
we're going to just comp plan a specific call, I think is what the.
I think that's a good idea.
Dang it. Are you just throwing me under the bus? Am I going to, okay.
No.
Okay, I will tease. Maybe I'll tease one. Okay, talk about the Renaissance. Okay, Curtis, like lean the witness. Shh, dang it. I like my Renaissance slide. Okay, this is an interesting thing. Somebody said to us at the beginning of this adventure, somebody said to Joe, I think you guys are fixing to start a renaissance in like the nutrition industry and direct selling. And I thought that was the greatest word because right after World War II, the world kind of had a renaissance where color came back to the world again and people had a spring in their step. It's pretty depressing to have a world war, you know? And, there's renaissances that have happened over history. Like the Renaissance that happened in Tuscany, Italy in the 1500s. It was right after the Dark Ages. We're called the Dark Ages because it was dark and there was like a lot of people dying of the plague and stuff. And then the Medicis are like, hey, you artists, here's some money. Why don't you do something cool? And Michelangelo started painting in three-dimensional imagery. And before that, art was pretty much 2D. And it was starting to become three-dimensional as far as the paintings go with bright, vibrant colors. And at the same time, these are people that hung out together. Dante elevated language and the written word to an elevated form. You had Machiavelli, who was elevating politics and rules of politics. And they were hanging out with people like Galileo. Google it. And there was another dude, and his name was Amerigo Vespucci. And he's like, I think there's a better world out here. I heard from some guy, Christopher Columbus. And the Italians wouldn't give him money. He got in a boat and he went and found it. He called the Voyage of Discovery, and he rediscovered America. America is named after a Tuscan named Amerigo Vespucci. Google it. You probably don't believe me. It's true. So we thought a renaissance would be cool because the last few years kind of sucked in America. I'm just saying it. I'm not like COVID sucked. It was horrible. I shouldn't use sucked. It was bleh. It was freaking blah. And I was like, the industry kind of got blah, like everything kind of got a little blah. And when we launched Zango in 2002, we had just come off the year after 9/11. It was a pretty sad time in society, 9/11. And I think America and the world in general had been a few quarts low on optimism. And we started to have success and everything was orange, bright oranges, everything was orange. And Joe stood on stage and he said, it's safe to dream again, 2002, 2003. And people started quoting it. And so I think if we're going to launch a renaissance, I think I quote my brother Joe. And it's like, it's safe to dream again. And I think that's a pretty fun little thing to do. And I want to temper expectations. We are in pre-launch and we're getting pretty close. The wet paint that we started showing people is less and less wet every day. But I told you I was going to give you a group to-do list. If you haven't done this already, we haven't done this unofficially. Ashley just announced on, when was Thursday, Ashley? I think Thursday.
I think so, yeah.
She just toggled on these three platforms. Facebook.
Yeah. So they are OLIABO.official on TikTok and Instagram, and OLIABO official on Facebook. So these, if you go and follow them, You're able to see up-to-date announcements, little hints. You're able to share anything that we share on that page. But yeah, this is where you want to be when anything comes out, because we'll announce it here first.
And thank you, Ashley. And I'm going to take this off screen share for a second. I think I am. All right. Oh, I am. Wait a second. You should know. This is the thing where it's suddenly my cursor has to wake up and it's not like. All right. I think I'm going to stop screen sharing. I might need some help stopping this screen
They added
share.
more
But-
videos.
And when I mean I might need some help, I mean Curtis, can you maybe help me do that? But while I am trying to figure this part out, like Ray and I were talking, gosh, Ray, it was like late last night, right? Got that? Dang it. I could have done that. Folks, before I'm gonna turn some time to Ray for a second.
I want to show something first.
No, dude, I'm on a rain.
Hey, so I'm gonna get a close up and try to make the camera refocus on me here because I want to. Whoa, it's kind of
Freaking me, monster.
freaking me out. Yeah.
Curtis is big.
Okay, so I want to show you something that's pretty visually stunning. So this is what a lot of people are used to as just kind of an extra virgin olive oil. If you can see that there, not very colorful. You can find stuff that has some color. This is a high phenolic extra virgin olive oil. These are both just the same clear glass vials, but that green color gives you a real clear idea of the different componentry that's in this compared to this. The polyphenol count in this low level extra virgin olive oil is probably in the maybe 10 to 20 parts per million of different kind of polyphenol. In this one, it's probably about 2,000 parts per million. A massive difference in what we're talking about. And so this is a high phenolic extra virgin olive oil. This is the kind of stuff that we're putting in our products. And the olivectin components, and in some of the products, the mangosteen components. Totally different kind of thing than you've probably ever seen before. So
Thanks. I forgot. We forgot to show that.
yeah.
I totally take back what I just said.
There's a couple questions. Should we answer those real quick and then see if Ray wants to have a go?
Yeah. Well, or we can have Ray talk to them because then Ray has to follow like questions. Do you want to?
Either way.
Ray, what do you prefer, brother?
Well, I tell you guys, I want to be respectful of everybody's time, but I know it's such an interesting subject. Thank you, everybody, for hanging in here. What a beautiful presentation tonight. You know, I'm so proud, Gordon, of your new little teaser video. It is so cool. And there's 106 people on this Zoom here tonight. Thanks, everybody. Let's double it by next week. But I know
There's
all
106
of
people
them.
on this call. Oh,
Pardon
sorry,
me?
Ray. Go ahead.
106. Yeah, well, 102 now since I started talking, 4 left. Anyway, it's such a beautiful little video. Curtis, can you throw that up? It's just a couple of minutes, but it is so good. And I know not everybody on this call has seen it.
I can throw that up for
Yeah,
sure.
cool.
We'll find that.
And while he's doing that,
I mean,
too, go ahead. Ray.
I watched this thing several times.
You
You
got-
keep going, Ray.
I was gonna say, while Curtis is setting that up, one of the things that you'll see in this video is that we don't want to be the same. There's a lot of sameness in this industry. There's a gravity in direct selling and nutritional supplements that pulls you to the sameness. It pulls you to the same bottles and capsules and labels and shrink wraps and all the stuff. And it seems to be. I feel like I'm sunburnt with normalcy. Okay, now shut up.
Here we go.
Sometimes it's the simplest ideas that make the biggest difference. A connection to nature, a quiet faith in the greater good, a home grounded in simplicity. It's the quintessential Italian belief that health, happiness, and food naturally intertwine. The belief that these ingredients should be blended with love and care. Now combine this with something just as essential, a belief that every person, regardless of background, deserves to be treated with dignity and respect, and deserves the chance to live up to their fullest potential. Now take this worldview and marry it with a truly unique idea at the right time. Well, that'll make people stop and pay attention. A truly unique idea has the power to change everything. It stands apart. It challenges the ordinary. And in its simplicity, it can move the world forward. That simple formula: love, health, respect, and a singular, simple, extraordinary idea has the power to change lives in our community, in our country, and around the world. Life is short. Timing is everything. And this fall, everything begins.
Thanks, Curtis, for queuing that up.
Yes,
quick.
thank you very much. Boy, I just love the little video. It's a great teaser. And Gordon issued a challenge, or actually, yeah, Gordon and Ashley. I mean, those of you that are real adept at social media, I'm not one of them, but many of you out there are. I'm telling you, just blow it up with this little teaser video. Let's soften the market. People say, where have I heard that before? So if you're pretty good at that, I'm just challenging you to light it up. I made some notes here. I probably won't go through any of them, but I want to say a few things, folks. Most of you, some of you anyway, I've recognized a lot of names here tonight, and I'm among a lot of friends. I've missed you. It's been some years since many of us have even talked on the phone. I know what it's like to find a unique opportunity at the right time. I mean, I've lived my life that way, 40 years in this industry full time, almost every day of my life. And, I used to look back and think, well, Jim Rohn taught me a few skills and I kind of know what to do, know what to say. Really, and try to give myself way too much credit for the success that I've had in all these decades of doing this. I got to tell you, folks, it's a pretty humbling thing when you sit down and you look back at your career and you do realize it wasn't your great skills and all the things that you had. Yes, you got to work, of course, that's a given, but it's your timing. That's what makes the difference. I mean, I gave you, if you were on the other call I did here a few nights ago or last week, Jim Rohn taught me the secret to success in network marketing. Find the right opportunity at the right time. Well, I mean, this is the right opportunity, obviously, at the right time. And build your business like your life was hanging in the balance for 90 days. It could set you up financially for life. I don't want to beat that old story to death, but it's just the truth. I can't get away from the truth. Each and every time, the big success, I've had 4 major successes in this industry in 40 years. Each and every time, other than one exception, each time the other 3, I mean, I was there early on and I gave it everything I had for 90 days. And I mean, look, you're not going to work 90 days where you could get fortunate. You could get, I think tonight, Mike McCarthy was on here. If you find a Mike or a Collie Butler, you might work 90 days and be done. Who knows? But I know you can set yourself up financially for a nice life if you realize you are at the right place at the right time, and you are here. I want to tell you about some things. Well, I don't want to go any further without congratulating Miss Ashley Brown, Vice President. Congratulations, Ashley.
Oh.
And before I go any further, too, full disclosure, everybody on this call know this. It comes straight from my heart. I love Joe and Gordon Morton. I've known them for way before Zango days. I've known them for well over 30 years. And Gordon and I, sometimes we talk late at night. We got some fantastic stories. Maybe we'll share them with you one of these days of the things that we've been through. I love these guys. I trust these guys. I know what they'll do. That's why I'm so excited about OLIABO. I'll take you down just a little bit of memory lane. I get a call in 2002 from my friend Gordon. He was in Detroit, Michigan. I can never remember this. Detroit or Toronto. He was in that area. He calls me. He couldn't tell me much.
You're good. You got both. Yeah.
He goes, I can't tell you anything. But he said, what do you think about the name? And he said, Zango. And I love the name. I really did. And, from there, I mean, it's so That's why I say, even today, Gordon's got me at hello. I mean, I'm in because I trust him so much. They're very comfortable, him and Joe, in this space, and certainly Curtis, you and Ashley are as well. I think a lot of you guys have only known each other for a short period of time, but looking forward to spending a lot more time with you. But it's kind of important to me, for me to share with you just a little bit about memory lane. These guys started the Zango company. I got involved, and I did. I gave it everything I had. Me and Collie, some others on this line, we gave it all we could. Charlie Emanecker, I see you there. I shouldn't start names. I'll leave somebody out, but many of you I saw. We gave it everything we had. They were trying to operate out of a little bitty cramped office there, and people walking over one another. We had fax machines breaking down. I mean, I sent in one time, people were sending me applications, and I mean, that's how long it's been, Gordon. We were using faxes, right? And I sent in over 100 applications. The fax machine ate all of them, you know? But this company, I mean, because it was a great idea at the right time, like OLIABO, it's perfect timing. It's perfect. It just took off. We told the story, and I'm telling you, I want all of you on this line. If you're looking for opportunity, if you're looking for success, I want you to experience what it's like to have such a growing organization that you don't even know which call to take. It's growing so fast because the idea was right, the timing was right. I mean, I want you to experience what it's like to get a raise in double digits in a month. Unbelievable. Month after month after month, and you go, hallelujah, what just happened? It's hard to describe that kind of momentum. You're about to see it again. I want you to know you're about to see it again. If you missed it, shame on you. This one's going to be a great big one. I know, Curtis said he'd send an email tomorrow with a few things you could look up. When you begin to study this, you can't help but know that you're going to be a lot better by taking Prima every day of your life. You're going to be a lot healthier human being. And I saw some of your comments, some of my friends out there tonight saying that's the way Ray used to look and this and that. And I get it. I'm still okay for 77 years old. I'm not a young guy. All of you know that. And I often say that I'm in the last chapter of my life, and I am. I mean, I got to be realistic. However, I believe OLIABO may allow me, an extra 9 or 10%, right? I may live another extra 10 years in this last chapter of my life. I promise you this, I'll go out talking about OLIABO and these guys. You're at the perfect place at the perfect time. I'll give you the recipe for success, the recipe for failure. We don't fail in life because we don't know what to do. We fail when we refuse to do the very things that we already know that we need to do. We all know what we need to do in network marketing. What do we need to do? We need to talk to people, pick up the phone, text them, get on a Zoom, call everybody that you know, because I promise you, this word's going to travel really, really fast. So, doing less than you can do causes lots of psychological damage. I mean, the opposite of that, doing all you can do, it makes you feel so much better about yourself. It'll make you put in more time in your business, more calls. Let me encourage you folks, call everybody that you know. Invite them to next week's Zoom. We had 106 here total tonight. Let's do our best to have 212 on here next week. This thing is worth paying attention to. I mean, it definitely is. This simplicity works. I'm going to issue a challenge here right in front of everybody to my friends and the owners of this opportunity called OLIABO. I think about this a lot in this industry. I mean, I love the graphics. All of you that was watching graphics, you've got to fall in love with that. I lived in that era. Times were a little more simple. People had manners, and I just loved everything about it. First time I saw it, Gordon is so dang talented when it comes to graphic arts. I never seen anybody as talented as Gordon Martin. He also is, most of you don't know, Gordon's been in the movie business for some time now, since the Zango days. So he kind of knows what he's doing. So I think simplicity always works. I think this product is simple, but yet very complex. Our compensation plan, which you're going to get to probably another call, is very simple, very straightforward. They've done everything they can to make this simple. And so my challenge to Gordon and Joe and Curtis and Ashley is this. These are the three things that always matter to people. Number one, it's the company. It's always the company first. The product is second. The compensation plan is third. I would love to see, because you're so talented at this. I can even name probably who does each little video. I'd love to have a 5-minute, no more than 5. That's the challenge, a 5-minute company video. The obvious person for that one is Gordon Martin, hands down. And then I'd like to see product video, about 5 minutes, short, hard hitting. The obvious choice for that is Joe Morton. Joe has always been a product guy, and I know y'all enjoyed listening to him talking about this particular product here tonight. And then a 5-minute compensation plan video, 5 minutes. This plan is, you're going to love it. It's so simple, you can cover it in 5 minutes. I don't know who would do that one. Probably Curtis. I'm just guessing. No pressure, Curtis. I can promise you guys, this thing is so simple. This thing is so simple. If we get a 5-minute company video, a 5-minute product video, a 5-minute compensation video, I'm telling you, people will just borrow that, use it, and send it to their friends. We'll grow this thing like Jack and the Beanstalk. I'm excited to be here. I mean, gosh, I couldn't say enough good things. The brass ring has come around one more time. And I encourage you, those of you that were with us in Zango, hey, grab a hold one more time. These guys won't let you down. I promise you. We're gonna have the time of our life with this. Don't get caught doing less than you can do, because that's the recipe for failing, not only in this industry, but in life. God's been really good to me, and God has been good to me, especially good to me lately when I learned about this. I've been kind of in the desert, personally, me. Many of you could identify with that since Zango was sold to another company. It took a little piece of my heart with it, and that happened. And I'm sure many of you can identify with that. It's back again. It's back again. It's better. I think it's going to be bigger than Zango. We did pretty well financially in Zango, so I'm looking forward to that. I don't need a whole lot. I won't. Since I am in the last chapter of my life, I want to put together something fantastic to leave to the people that I love the most. And speaking of people I love the most, I love all of you. I love the people on the call. I can't wait for us to swing the doors open and start running hard.
Wow, Ray, you're unbelievable. Brother, thank you. It was okay. Ray and I were laughing so hard last night. I thought I couldn't even. Oh my gosh! We'll tell that story. Ray. We're gonna freeze that thought out. But Ray. By the way, Ray just does this. He did this a couple weeks ago. Other people that I know did this, where he's like, "Okay, this would be a really good idea," but he does it on the phone with 100 people on the line, and I think that's great. The thing about this company that you probably notice, I think they say here in America that the greatest organizations are by the people, for the people, of the people. And I'm telling you what, we got that in spades in this thing. This has been a dynamic collaboration. I think I talked to Ray so many times on an average week that I think the neighbors are talking. But I will tell you this. This is what this is not. There's a lot of sameness in this industry right now. Ray was alluding to it. And sameness breeds monotony. It breeds a certain amount of I don't know. You don't get excited about getting out of bed. And there's a thing, I'm just going to rant just for a second, then we'll open it up. I see Charlie had his hand up and I want to let him speak, but I'm personally a little uncomfortable with the state of the industry. Ray said, you got to tell them that. Last night he said this to me, like, this is your fault, Ray, if this goes badly. But I was like, I'm a little uncomfortable with the state of the industry because I kind of want to change it. It's been this thing that people are doing. It's like they're bundling dying companies and they're putting them together and they're hiking prices and they're slashing the PV and direct sales is a little bit broken. And I really like the industry and I really like nutritional supplements, but it needs a colonic. And so I'm just saying to Ray last night, I'm just done. Take these like ridiculous PV splits that they're doing all over the place, and their broke ass comp plans, and their freaking no talent executive teams that don't know anything about compensation plans, and the breakage that's through the roof. And I'm like, just throw it down the toilet. I'm done with that stuff. Let's just kind of give this thing a fresh coat of paint. And I think that we're able to do it. And I'm just crazy enough to think that in the United States of America, this blessed country, that we have the red, white, and blue right to do it. And that's the part of the presentation. It starts with Italian. It says Italian. What do we say? Italian goodness with an American. It's an American engine. Like, this is the thing that we do well. So I'm off the soapbox. I think the world of this unbelievable team that we've got, including the folks that are on the line. And I'm not on share mode, but I was gonna say, I don't know how it is that, Curtis, you can open up to, I saw
Yeah,
Charlie
there's a
saying,
couple questions I want to address, and then yeah, I can do that for a couple people who had some comments here. In general, with this many people, we got to keep any live comments pretty tight. But yeah, it looks like we've got a couple here. So let me answer a couple of questions here. So recommended dose of Prima per day. We're still dialing that in right now, right? So we're the images that you're seeing right now, there's kind of where it's at in our minds and where some of the different initial test product has come out and where it'll probably end up. And there's a little bit of a difference there. And so we're still dialing that in.
I tell Ray to also, I'm like, we want to have some surprises for you guys. You've been really good. There are still surprises. We're showing you the wet paint. I haven't updated some of these images just because I want to have you guys. It's kind of exciting when you don't know everything, right? I don't like, it's just me.
But on that same note, because we're also dialing in the final componentry, the final formulations, the packaging, all that stuff. Like, we're going through these final mile stages of the product formulation, the packaging, the manufacturing. So that means we're also finalizing the pricing, right? So that goes into one of the other questions. So the pricing, we're trying to dial in. There will be different price points for a month's supply of Prima versus a month's supply of Flex versus the skincare line. But we'll have that dialed here in the next, I think, hopefully a couple of weeks or so, because we've got to get that pre-dialed, because we've got to get the manufacturing rolling. So,
well, I will say this too, Curtis, if you don't mind. A lot of people are asking me this. In my brain, I start with the end in mind, right? Begin with the end in mind. And so there have been price points, beautiful price points that I think are natural price points in our industry done right. And that price point is not $7,000 non-breakaway volume in a tough shed in your backyard, okay? It's 100 PV or QV. By the way, I was given the challenge by Ray and a few other folks. Can you have a QV that never changes? Because sometimes companies change rules and that's not cool. So QV will remain the same. That's the universal thing. There'll be a PV, but the PV unit will be somewhere around the 100, 200 price points. Those are the two big ones. We'll give plenty of things that you'll want to buy. You'll be incentivized because it's cool. If something's cool, I like buying it. Like that. It's kind of fun, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully that helps.
Yeah, so that's where we're dialing things at. But there'll be some different price points there. But then the qualifying volume will stay locked in, so that it's not jumping all over there and causing problems.
Yeah.
We will do, as Gordon mentioned, soon we'll do a comp call.
Was I supposed to? Okay, what happened? Like, are you telling me I'm supposed to comp plan tonight?
No. I don't think.
Dude, I'm 100 years old.
Everyone's just excited.
Dream.
No comp plan. They're ready. I think we're about ready to roll that out.
Yeah, I'm cool.
Easy show. So
Ray, are you cool if we do that later this week? I don't want to make
so this week or next week, and we'll make sure to send out an invite.
Yes.
So we'll make you all aware. Anybody that's on this call, anybody that's signed an NDA, I've got you all in our system now. And so if you're not in our system, let me know. Or if you didn't get the email or whatever, we'll get it dialed in. But you'll get invites to those other events. Somebody else asked, when's the next call? So every week now, moving forward, for the foreseeable future, Tuesdays, 7 p.m. Mountain Time, you'll get a unique invite each week while we're in this NDA phase. So just a reminder, we're still in this NDA phase, so we're being very careful and we want to be very careful in letting any of this information outside of the group that signed the NDA. Feel free to share the things that we're sharing on social media, the video, other things, but please keep the information locked down. Anybody that you do think would be interested in seeing the information, I put some information in the webinar chat, but essentially send an email to marketing@oliabo.com with their name, their email address, their phone number, and their address so that we can send them an NDA. Once they sign the NDA, we'll get them on our invite list so that each week they can be invited. So that's how that's going to work. It'll be a new link each week so that we can keep it tight, keep it close. Let me see.
There might be pre-recorded too. There was a discussion. It was
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
We're going to work on either this week or next week, depending on the time that we have, on doing like a recorded session that we can then make available to people on demand as they come into signing an NDA.
similar to this material, yeah. And we'll have other, of course, there's dynamic stuff that's happening, right? Like comp plan trainings, etc. But the core message right here, most of the people are getting, some of our inner circle are getting pretty good at committing to memory, So that's the whole point. The whole point, right?
And part of the last question here, and then thanks for your patience, everybody. Somebody's wondering if we could show the participant list. Speaking of NDAs,
No.
part of that is to protect you as well, right?
No.
The people on this call, any other corporate side company would be shouting from the rooftops, "Hey, we're talking to so and so, and look who's on our call," and all these other things. And we have no need to do that. We don't want to do that. We're protecting you as much as we're protecting ourselves. And so there will be a time where that will be more open, but right now we're keeping all that kind of locked down and closed up. So we really, really appreciate your patience with that, but we want to protect you as much as we protect the opportunity of the company as well. So we will share. So Ashley, can you type into the chat put the links in there into the chat for the social media links?
For sure.
The fact that you know how to do that is really remarkable.
And then, so some of the things, so timeline wise, we're aiming for like a pre-launch, pre-order opportunity to start happening sometime in October is what we're aiming for. Aiming for and hitting is sometimes different, but we think that we can hit a pre-launch.
We got it.
I think we can hit a pre-launch in October sometime, and then actually shipping product full launch in November sometime. So that's the timeline that we're on. With that, we're looking at probably opening up through an NFR shipping from here into Canada program, and fast following with some other additional regions or countries in a similar fashion with an NFR program. So that's kind of how we're looking at rolling it.
What does NFR mean?
NFR means not for resale. Most of you are probably familiar with that, but that's wherein we can ship product directly to consumers that order from here through your efforts, and we'll have a structure for that could provide some opportunity for you as well with that.
By the way, thank you for the input, Canadians. I had one that was giving me real-time data while I was sitting in front of the pick and pack facility that were the shipping company, right? It was really great. It keeps, I'll tell you what, out of the gates, this thing is a storehouse of ridiculous information about how to get things from point A to point B and how to put things through a network. So yeah.
Okay, let's give Charlie the floor. Charlie, you gotta hit hard. You gotta come in strong.
Charlie is a Buckeyes fan. If he's not wearing a Buckeyes hat, I'd be surprised. But
okay, Charlie, you should be able to talk now.
Okay, can you see me now? Or
We
not?
can hear you.
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Yes, Gordon, I have my Buckeye hat on as very proudly, as they have deserved their accolades. But guys, I'm not going to say much. Ray said a lot, but I got to just share a couple things. First, I've got some serious burning nerve tissue in my left derriere, and I need another sample, guys. I had Nancy rub it in. I swear I can't really rub it in myself. And so
Charlie.
I won't tell if they come. But anyhow, this stuff worked great. I want to share a couple things real quick. I was going to show my list, but I've got the list of people I've talked to, and I've got on this list of 19, 5 people who Ray and I both know who have said, I am done, no more network marketing. Now, Ray and I are on the back 9 of life. Ray might think he's on 15. I think I'm on 12. So anyhow, so there's 5 people that have got NDAs, or I don't know if they're all on the Zoom tonight. They said, no, I'm absolutely done. Zango was the best thing I ever did. I've done 2 or 3 other things. I am disappointed. I'm not ever going to do anything again. So they signed NDAs and they are excited as hell. And I'm going to say that, Joe and Gordon, I'm going to compliment you. It's because of you. It's how you handled yourselves earlier in your life. It's how we handled things in Zango early on. And the way that you all have the familial way to communicate. It's like we're all kind of hanging around the family room, and Gordon starts picking on Joe, and Joe responds back, and then Danielle says something, and David says something. And so this is a family, and it's also the way that you reward each other by financially and by emotionally. And I'll say to people that really don't know anything about our journey in Zango, it was an emotional ride that was pretty much really steady and high. And Nancy and I talk about it all the time. And what's also interesting, Nancy has told me, she says, quote unquote, I am not a network marketer. Don't ask me to make a three-way phone call. Don't. So I started talking to her about first press olive oil. She's an expert. No,
He's Italian.
She's Italian. She's a Pachetti. And so one of her daughters is heading over to Tuscany. So on Thursday, a few beautiful things here. I made some notes like Ray, but I just wanted to tell people or share with people who have not experienced the Zango culture. There's going to be the OLIABO culture, and it's nowhere to be seen today in the world of network marketing. And Ray and I have got some chevrons on our sleeves, and a few others here. I think I get baby checks from 6 companies. And here's what happened. Hey, I want to share something with you. Tell me what you think. And Ray knows what that's like. And there's a few things that are out there. They're okay, but this is greatness again. We ought to get Trump to maybe do a little video here, a mega thought as we go through this. But I just want to thank you guys for having the foresight to have all over again. And I start my conversations with my friends. Remember when Joe Morton was working in Southeast Asia in the early 2000s? And that's how it goes. Thanks, guys. I just want to leave it there. I appreciate what you're doing. At 78 years old, I am really inspired. And thanks to Zango, income and earnings, I have a lot of assets, but I'm out of cash. So I'm going back to work. See you. Thank you.
Good work. Good work, Charlie. Gordon, I got a question.
Oh, go ahead, Ray. Sorry.
Yeah. My question is everybody's lunch safe around Joe? I know in the early days of Zango, everybody was complaining Joe was stealing their lunch.
No, and he's like rubbed off on Curtis. Curtis was just eating like my cheese. I got like Parmesan cheese. I got Reggiano Parmigiano in the fridge, and Curtis eating it. I was like, Joe eats my lunch still. He still eats every. If he's Ray's like, he knows if it's 1 minute to noon. Okay. Charlie knows this. That hasn't changed. So anyway.
Hey, so we really appreciate everyone's time and your participation here. Please keep the questions coming as we get offline here. Please keep sending people our way, and we'll get them into the process that we've created. We're not sure exactly which countries we'll be rolling out with. It'll probably just be Canada for sure, and maybe a couple others right out of the gate, and then we'll continue to add others on through the not for resale shipping from the U.S. program. But we're going to be very careful and methodical in the way that we're doing this, so that we can build something that lasts and something that's really done right. That's how we do it. So anyway, thank you again for your time and for your attention, and keep an eye out for the follow-up email that'll come tomorrow, and we will keep an eye out for your communications coming our way so that we can keep this rolling.
Buonanotte. Ciao, ciao. Thank you. Grazie tante. All right,
everybody.
Night.
Good morning if you're somewhere else.
I think I got log. Recording stop.